Hey y'all, welcome to season 2 of the TisforTMI Diaries, where I'm reading my diaries from when I was a teenager. Currently, I am reading from 1989. This is going to be, I think I just said this is season 2. I think what I'm going to do is each time I move to a new location, it's going to be a new season, which I believe means that I'll have. So we just finished season 1. I really hope you like the episode with Stephen. That was a lot of fun to record. I love him so much. And so then this is season 2. And then season 3. So I think those are the only seasons, 3 seasons of these diaries. There's this one, and then there will be another one. The whole diary on that one is season 3. I think season 3 actually starts in this one. Let's see. Oh boy. Those are much longer. I don't know how to do that on TikTok. Oh yeah. This is definitely season 3. So, um, so let's get right into it, shall we? We are finally starting My Life Part 2. Oh, here, let me. My Life Part 2. Cheesy, I wrote. Future me wrote. And then my address, where I lived in Virginia. So it's one of my favorite YouTubers says, go to part 2. It's a very bad impersonation. So we're in part 2. And this is a 6-page entry. So our season opener is going to be a little bit longer than maybe past episodes have been. So let's get started. It is Sunday, August 20th, 1989, 9:08 p.m. It has been exactly 4 months, 15 days, 1 hour, and 21 minutes since I have written last. Since then, school is let out for the summer. I have become a new Christian, July 16th, 1989, and I have moved to Virginia. That's it in a nutshell. So let's just jump right in there real fast. I do love how I counted down to the minutes, 4 months, 15 days, 1 hour, and 21 minutes. But is that 21 minutes? This is 9:08 p.m. That is 21 minutes from when I started that last entry. Who knows how long it actually took me to write it. So it probably took me 20 minutes to write that entry. So, but anyways, the fact that I went back and counted that, ridiculous. I have become a new Christian. Let me see. I don't remember how much further I got into that. Okay. So what happened was, I think I mentioned previously that I lived across the street from the church, and I started going to that church with Shauna and Connie. And I think I was talking about the shenanigans I wanted to get up to. Um, having a church lock in and getting Stephen there and knowing all the places to hide out and fuck in the church. I scoped out the church for the best places to fuck. I still want to fuck in all of those places in a church. It's going to happen someday. That church, that's an abandoned building. Could I go to Missouri and still fuck in that church? Could I break in? Anyway, so I was going to the church. I went on Wednesday night, which is when we had choir practice. I was there on Friday evening for probably youth group, maybe. And then all day Saturday, I was over there doing something. There was always something going on. And Saturday nights would be the nights we had the lock-ins. And no, that wouldn't have been Saturday night because church would have been the next morning. So maybe those were on Friday nights. Anyways, it doesn't matter. All day Saturday, I was at the church. Sunday morning, I went to church and, had Sunday school. And then right after Sunday school, I did a little puppet show based on whatever Bible verse we had for that week or Bible story. And I had to write the little puppet show and, pick out which puppets. And then me and this other girl who did that with me. I think it was Connie's little sister, maybe. Susan? I don't remember. God, my ear itches. Anyway, we did a little puppet show before the actual church. I mean, it was like during when they were doing something else. I don't know a lot about church and rituals, and I mean, there's like this part of the church, and then and then Sunday afternoon or maybe I think it was Sunday afternoon, like before we had evening church, we would have Bible study on my front porch. I was like totally into it. I like went forward and accepted Christ, and we were talking about scheduling my baptism and everything. I was all in. I loved that place. I loved those people. As an adult, I realized, it's a small town. There were scandals and things happening behind the scenes that I just didn't know about then. And I mean, I don't know about now, but I know enough about people and human nature in small towns to know that there were things probably going on. Anyway, let's move right along. Stephen is really finally history now, even though I still love him. A part of me always will. True facts. I get a part of me always will, I guess. You never forget your first love, ever, all caps. It's virtually impossible. I wouldn't really want to anyway. I've been involved with I wouldn't really want to anyway. I've been involved with others since. Telly, Jason K, Jason S, and now David. Details about him later on. So 4 months. I don't remember exactly when we moved. Obviously, it was after July and before August 20th. So between middle of July and middle of August, we moved to Virginia. On the 16th, what I can remember about that is on July 4th, we went to like a July 4th party kind of thing. And there was like a bonfire. And there was this guy named Telly Miles. And he asked me to dance. And I maybe did like a two-step or something. I don't know, some kind of dance, you know. I mean, I wasn't very good at it, but I was, just kind of following him. And he might have kissed me. I honestly can't remember. but I did kind of have like a crush on him, and I was looking forward to seeing him in the school year, but we moved. I didn't start school there for ninth grade. I started ninth grade in Virginia. So so that was Telly. Jason K is Jason Kine, you know, the guy that I was complaining about grabbing my ass and fucking with me and asking him out. Well, he and I started a little love affair after I moved away through letters because Stephen never wrote me. Never once did he write me a letter after I moved away. He did like write little notes to me on letters that I got from Lori or from Shauna, I think, once or twice. Ooh, I should have whistled through my teeth. Um, but he never wrote me. Jason, however, wrote me long, long letters, long letters. He was so madly in love with me. I was so mean to him. He was a fat kid and he was gay. I didn't find that out till I got back in touch with Steven, like sometime in the I get in touch with Steven, I think for the first time, 98, I think, through the magic of the internet, probably classmates or something, I don't remember. But found out that Jason was gay also. I have not looked him up. Maybe I should. But he sent me these long letters soaked in Stetson cologne. And I'm not ashamed to tell you that that cologne still gets me, it gets me here in my heart. I'm very nostalgic about smells, and Stetson will still turn my head. And it was because of Jason. Jason S. Only Jason S. I know about was Jason Schroeder, who, a few entries back was Shauna's boyfriend. But this was after Jason. I mean, I typically write them in order. So there was Telly and Jason Kind. Jason S. Who? Don't, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. It doesn't matter. And now David. Details all about him later on. There'll be a lot more about David. We have moved to Berryville, Virginia. Still a small town, but much bigger than old Garden City. I think I'm going to like it here, hopefully. I feel like I haven't looked this up in a long time. I'm not going to do it right now. I feel like Berryville was like 7 to 15,000 people. That feels like a lot, but Garden City had 1,000. It was definitely bigger than that. It could have been as small as 5,000, but still, it's way bigger than 1,000. And it was cute. There were definitely things I loved about it. We moved there because my dad was a carpenter at the time, and he got a job um, working for somebody building houses in Berryville, Virginia. How that happened from Missouri, I don't know. We didn't have the internet. Um, we had family in Virginia, but not this part of Virginia. So I don't really know. Anyway, my Christian life has gone down the tubes. I'm back to my old self again. Please forgive me, dear God, but that's the way it has to be. I feel bad though, because I have let everyone down. John, Mike, Peggy, Connie, Shauna, but mostly Barbara. They don't know it yet. I dread telling them. I don't want to hurt them. They were so good to me. Pray for me. I need it. So John was the pastor, Mike was the youth minister, Peggy was John's wife, Connie was my friend, Shauna, Barbara was, I don't think she was my Sunday school teacher. I feel like there was somebody else as a teacher in there, but she was like the second Sunday school teacher or whatever. But she was a woman who, oh God, now that I think about it, was probably my age now or younger. She's probably like her early 40s. I mean, my memory of hers is being an older woman, but I was a kid and, there were lots of people I thought were older than they actually were because, who can, judge that when they're a kid. But Barbara and I became really close because in Sunday school, even though I was trying really hard and I was reading my Bible every night and I was praying, I still have the Bible, by the way. Even though I was, did I give it to Ro? I gave Ro my children's Bible for sure. Anyways, doesn't matter. Even though I was, trying to do this church thing, like legitimately, sincerely, earnestly, I always had questions. Always, always, always had questions in Sunday school. Like, the Tower of Babel. I did not like how I had asked, if we all came from Adam and Eve and we're all from the Garden of Eden, how are there so many different people and languages spread out all over the world and just, race and culture and all of that? None of it made sense to me. And, the story of the Tower of Babel. And I was like, Tower of Babel? Whatever. You mean to tell me, well, let me just knock the table. You mean to tell me that way, way, way back when, ancient times, BC, I know they built pyramids, but pyramids are, they're massive structures. But you mean to tell me back then they could build a tower, could reach heaven, all the way up there, wherever heaven's supposed to be. I'm like trying to point out. Now we go into space and didn't make any sense to me. Just everything. That's the one that stands out in my mind, And then of course, we can tear all of the other stories apart. We know. But I always had questions, and she always was really good about answering them, very thoughtfully. And, we just had a lot of great talks, and we exchanged letters after I moved. I also had a crush on her son. I feel like I had to have told this story before. He had a really super sweet Chevy Nova SS. Blue. God, I've always been attracted to that color blue. I don't know what year it was. I used to, but I don't remember now. Okay, moving right along. School starts in a couple of weeks. I can't wait. Something to do. I want to meet people too. Get new friends. Take French and art. All kinds of stuff. Now, oh wait, let me, take French and art. Really surprised about that art part. I don't remember ever wanting to take an art class back then, but I was really interested in art, but I just wasn't an art student. Like academics had been pressed on me for so long, but this was during the time when I stopped thinking about academics because I was about to be bitten by the drama bug and Shakespeare. I was about to discover Shakespeare. And then I wanted to be an actress. But French, hardcore into French. I mean, I already mentioned that, me and Shauna, going through the dictionary, looking for French words. So I was really super excited about taking French and meeting new friends. I've always been social, always. So it wasn't too terribly sad, it seems. That's great. Now about David. That's what it says. It's not just me being a segue. Now about David. He's 17 years old, a junior, DOB 4872, approximately 5'9", 5'10", black hair, brown eyes, mustache, slight acne problem, 131 pounds, enough vital stats. How did I know he weighed 131 pounds? Is that something he told me, or was I taking a guess? He must have told me. He's really nice, easy to talk to, not bad looking, and reminds me of 2% Heather Lopez, 67% Richard Clark, 31% Jason Kine. Kinda. We have so much in common that it isn't funny. Seriously. So much in common. I really love the percentage breakdown. 2% Heather Lopez. And the funny thing is I can tell you exactly why all of these percentages are the way they are. 2% Heather was because of his appearance, and he had craziness about him that I sensed. And Heather was crazy is the wrong term. I'm sorry. I mean, I use that term to describe myself, but had some mental health struggles. And David had that dark, wounded thing that I've always been attracted to, even now. 67% Richard Clark, who was my boyfriend in 6th grade. Richard Clark. We were on, not 6th grade, 7th grade. 7th grade, Ocean Way. We were like on all of the brain brawl teams together. It wasn't called brain brawl. I think it was called Grand Prix or something. Anyways, he had black hair and beady little eyes. I remember his face. I always thought his face was kind of rat-like, but in like the cute Don Bluth kind of way, like I could imagine him as like a character in Secrets of NIMH, because I'm probably a furry. I mean, I grew up watching Disney, Robin Hood and, Secrets of NIMH. I had a crush on Justin. I'm not going to lie about it. So that's how he reminded me of Richard Clark. It was visual. And then 31% Jason Kine, because Jason Kine was really, really sweet to me and always paid a lot of attention to me. I mean, remember how I complained about it, but I loved it at the same time? Your girl has always loved getting attention from boys. Getting attention from girls. Getting attention. Full stop. What are we doing here? I'm commanding your attention. We have so much in common that it isn't funny. I really couldn't tell you what those things were. We were teenagers. We're miserable teenagers. We hated our parents. We were both probably suicidal. We'd probably talked about stuff like that. Probably. He has, in so many words, asked me out, asked me to go with him, asked me to sleep with him, invited me to his junior prom. In so many words. He just drops hints. you know, excuse me. I'd go with him, but I still love Steven and I'm not ready to go with anyone yet. Plus, right now, we're just friends. I want to take it slowly this time and not jump into anything like before. I know I will go with him eventually, probably soon. Who knows? Just give it time, Tonya. It'll happen on its own. Just wait and see. Back to Tonya with a Y. In so many words, he asked me out, asked me to go with him. Because those are two different things. Asking me out is like asking me out on a date, like we're going to go somewhere. But going with him, we don't actually go anywhere. We can sit on the hood of my parents' car, which is where we spent most of our time, sitting on the hood of my parents' car in front of our townhouse. He lived 2 townhouses down from me. And I remember sitting on the hood of the car with him between my legs and my arms around him, like resting my head on his shoulder, just kind of snuggling up. We weren't like snogging, weren't kissing or making out because that wasn't allowed, but I'd be kind of like hanging all over him and talking and talking and talking. And he walked very, very erect, like he had a board strapped to his spine. And I don't know if he was full of shit. I mean, he was a 17-year-old boy, I think I said he was. Um, he was a 17-year-old boy. He could have been completely full of shit. But every time a plane flew over, he would tell me what kind of plane it was and the engines, and he just knew that stuff. So, he was very intense. He had this intense darkness about him. Just attracted to that. Because, headed me to the darkness. Asked me to sleep with him and invited me to his junior prom. In so many words. Maybe he just said, he didn't have a date for the junior prom yet. Junior school year hadn't even started yet. But we're just friends. I'm going to take it slowly this time, not jump into anything because, brought the U-Haul on the first date with the last one. I mean, how long did it take me and Steven to finally get together? It was the end of the school year. On the 5th try, I thought we got together and broke up like 22 times. Just give it time, Tonya. It'll happen on its own. Just wait and see. And then surprise, that's not the end. 11:01 p.m. So when did I start this entry? 9:08, 2 hours later. Well, no, this is probably an hour later because I don't think it would have taken me an hour to write all that, but maybe, who knows? At least an hour. 11:01 p.m. I've been thinking, and I think maybe I will go with David sooner than I thought. Maybe tomorrow night. Who knows? But I'm still going to take it. But I'm still going to take it slow. More later. ... Good night. G'' night. Gonna take it slow. How long? It didn't say how long we had been there. I moved to Virginia. But we moved between July and August within a month. So also what would have happened is the school year ended. School year ended. On the last day of school, I kissed Steven. It's the only time we kissed. And I don't think I saw him over the summer at all because he never came to a lock-in. Now's where you find out that at the beginning of the video, I lied about having recorded the video with Steven because I haven't recorded it yet, but it's going to happen and it's going to be a lot of fun. And I'm glad I'm having this conversation with you right now because it'll remind me to ask him what he remembers. I remember that July 4th dance. Steven knew that I was going to be there and he couldn't go or something. But we had to have broken up after the school year ended. I don't really remember what happened. I just know I moved and he never wrote me. I might still have those letters from Jason and Lori. Maybe. So, just for the sake of continuity, this is January 7th of 2023 at 3:11 a.m. I texted Steven earlier today because I started to read the last entry and I remembered, oh, wait, I want to record this one with Steven and, get his reaction. I think I've actually already read the entry to him like some time ago, or at least copied and pasted it to him, or copied and pasted it, transcribed it from my diary to him. So we've talked about it and stuff. And he actually watched the video before the last, oh no, that was somebody that's going to be in chapter or in season 3. We won't talk about him yet. There are going to be further surprises. I hope. Wonder who else I can get. Gotta get Steven first. And with that, this a little bit longer than the last few have been. Not as long as the first couple, but trying to keep it down, bite-sized chunks. I don't want y'all to get tired of me. I want y'all to continue to be on this ride with me because it's so much fun. I appreciate y'all so much. Thanks for hanging out. And, if you like it, you think it's cool, you might want to tell some people. I'm really into the idea. Obviously, I'm doing it, but I like for you to enjoy it too. So that being said, off like a prom dress, but not a junior prom dress with David.